The following program is brought to you by the Internet Broadcasting Organization. Hello, and welcome to the Heart of the Matter radio show, hosted by Lorena Jefferson. Author of the book, The Heart of the Matter, Lorena is a lifestyle management coach who is determined to empower the community with the information and resources necessary to build our families and communities. We are global, so listen in every Tuesday at 7 p.m. at talkwatchstudios.com for the Heart of the Matter sessions. We are interactive, and your insights matter. So call us at 813-639-8255 to participate in our discussion. And now, let's get to the heart of the matter.
Hello, and welcome to the Heart of the Matter. My name is Lorena Jefferson, and I'm your host. And Victor Hawkins is here.
Hey, Lorena. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Victor. Guys, it has been an amazing week. It's been quite a challenging week.
Very challenging.
Victor and I was talking right before we came on. So it's been a challenging week for everybody, and but an amazing week at the same time. And I say that because I know that when things are shifting, then that means change is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime change is coming and things are being deleted, it means that new things are getting ready to be added. So we have to be happy about that if we can just remember that, during those times. And we're on a journey.
Yes, we are.
And this journey has these turns and twists to them. And, the thing about it is our destiny is what it is. It's called a destiny because you have to be destined to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Absolutely. Yes. You got to get there. And so in order to get there, you got to do some things. And what it does is it's just like anything else. When you have to struggle or when you have to work through something and when you have to change and become adjustable to whatever is going on, right. What happens is when you finally achieve your goal, you appreciate it more.
You appreciate it much, much more.
Right.
Yes.
And so that's what this thing is about. It's been a real challenge for me.
Wow.
So I can only imagine, what's going on.
You're not alone.
Right.
Yep.
Right. But it's life, guys. And there's been so many conversations this week that I've had with people, and it's the same thing. It's just that a lot of us don't understand what's happening, and we have a tendency because of our programming, which is our programming.
The input that have over the years of growing up.
Absolutely.
That's been put into us, our hard drive.
Absolutely.
And we have to. I don't know if I should say deprogram, but we have to
somewhat
delete. We have to delete some of those things.
Absolutely.
And replace them with good, positive things that are healthy for us.
That's right, and beneficial for our journey.
Yes.
And guys, that's what this thing is about. Remember, this show is not for entertainment. We hope that you're stimulated. We hope that we keep your attention.
Empowered.
It's not. Yes, and empowered. But it's not for a giggle. There really is an entity called the heart of the matter.
Yes.
And the only way to get to the heart of the matter is you have to be able and willing to deal with what is going on so that you will find out where you are so that you can get where you're going.
Yes.
And that's everybody. That's Victor and I, too. We talk about our situations, and we're just like you. Everybody's on a journey. Maybe different things are happening, but trust me, we're all on a journey to our destinies. So we have a great topic today.
Yes, we do. I love it.
And this is really cool because, you guys know how I do it. I text Victor this morning that the topic was going to be about passion.
Actually, I think I had just finished working out, and I saw your text, and I didn't even really pay too much of attention to it. Not, no disrespect to you. I saw it,
It's
read it,
okay.
and I just put it away, and actually forgot about it until later in the day.
Because you got it like that. You just know.
I love the topic. I do.
So what is it? Because I didn't give him any details. I never give him details.
You never give me any details.
I never do. I just
here's the topic.
And it's so that Victor and I will both come in here pure, presenting the way we should present, because
unscripted, all the way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Straight getting it. That's how we do it, because
raw.
It's very, very, very important for us to represent what we're trying to get you to do. And all that is to be real.
Yes.
It's to expose yourself, and it's to make sure that you free yourself. Because when you're free, you have no limits. Remember, we're not humans having spiritual experiences.
We're spiritual beings having human experiences.
That's right.
Yes.
Never forget that.
Yes.
Because humans have limits. Spirits, they soar. There's no limits.
None.
All you have to do is know that you can do it.
Yep.
And you can. We've been given that ability, and we've been given that authority. And so these things that are happening right now are so that we can be able to see clearly that we do have the ability to go past circumstances when we see things that we think, oh, well, I can go there. Well, I used to could do that, but I can't do that now because I've lost this, and this. But see, the entity that is conspiring for our good, who we know is God.
Yes.
Remember, there's an entity that is conspiring for you to achieve every goal and every part of your destiny that you were sent here for. But there's another entity that has stolen your identity. How did it steal it? Through the programming that we've received. Not all bad, but one of the ways that you know and will know the things that need to change in your programming, because it came from your mom, it came from your dad, it came from your teachers, it came from your environment. And what we did was we decided, based on other people's opinions, this is good, this is bad,
right.
This is right, this is wrong. After we got to a certain age, we decided, well, I believe that, but I don't believe that.
Right.
But the way that you know if you're where you need to be in your own belief system is this. Is the results of your life, are the results of your life, that was that country girl just came out, are the results of your life benefiting you in the way that you would like for them to benefit you? Or have you put limits on, I can do this, but I can't do that? But in your heart, you desire to do so much more. That's how you know if your programming is going south or if it's going north. Because believe it or not, only you can change you.
Well, let me ask you, there's some people that are focused on some things that we consider to be unhealthy, such as, like, say, materialism, value. And they plot and plan to do things that are not healthy. It's not love for your fellow man, so to speak. But it's going the way they want it to go. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So would you not say that if it's something that is not positive or benefiting others as well, then they need to delete it or deprogram it? Do I make sense a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit. Oh.
But what I'm gathering from you,
There's some people. There are actually some people that I have met or I've come across who are focused on very unhealthy things.
Absolutely.
And they do, so to speak, that that scripture in the Bible that talks about the love of money
Mm-hmm.
is the root to all evil and so forth. They do all types of evil. They do all types of things, and they're okay with that. So they feel like the things that they've been programmed to do, even though it's unhealthy, they may not see it as unhealthy, that they're okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I disagree with that. I think that if it's something that is unhealthy, not only for the person, but also for society as a whole, then they need to delete that. They need to have some deep soul searching and restart, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. And see, the thing about that, that's a really, really good question, because I'm always tell you, just like I know that this is true.
Right.
Those people are free. No one has the right to put those people in bondage.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, well, that's not good what they're doing, and whatever the law says, that's not good what they're doing. A lot of things, a lot of people would say, it's not good what they're doing. But you said, see, you made the point, but they feel okay about it, and they're good with it.
Right.
They are free. They can do whatever they want to. We've been set free. We have a liberty to do whatever we want to, but you don't use your liberty to hurt other people. But see, that's the thing. You still can use your liberty. It's just not good for you to use your liberty. This is why.
Okay.
Everybody's free to do whatever they choose to do.
Absolutely.
No one can stop a person from doing it.
Absolutely.
But you and I talk about the same thing. You better 100% understand that the universe has already fixed it. For every choice that you make, there is a consequence.
Absolutely.
And so it's not about, telling someone you shouldn't do this, you should do this, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this. Because again, that's you programming. No, we have to make a decision. Okay, if I do this, am I willing to face this consequence?
Right.
If I do this, am I willing to face this consequence? The fact of the matter is, no matter how we wish everyone was good in the world,
mm-hmm.
everyone is not making good choices, and they're making them consciously because they're about themselves. If they're about themselves, they're free to do that.
Right.
But there's a consequence. You break the law, you go to jail. You hurt somebody, you may get hurt back. You go and drive on the wrong side of the road, you're free to do it. Nobody can stop you from doing it. But you need to understand that there's a consequence
to everything.
So that's
every decision.
Where we draw the line is, even when we're doing what we're doing, and even when we're free to do whatever we want to do, we all need to understand, guys, that there are choices. And at the moment you make that choice, you have already accepted the consequence, no matter what that consequence might be.
Yes.
And that's where those people fall. Because again, we've been so intruded on in our lives that our identities have been stolen. And so what happens is people get to a certain point where they go all the way south with it. They're frustrated. The things that they've decided was real, was true, is something different. They had a bad background. They were taught different things than you. And so just like you decided, well, this is good and this is bad and this is good and this is bad, you don't know what they were programmed to believe. And if they really sold into it, that's why you will see people doing all kinds of things without a conscience, because they believe it's true. You do right because you believe it's true. They do what they consider right because they believe it's true. That's how deep that programming is.
Very, very deep. But we can see it firsthand every day of our lives with the different cultures that intertwine with one another. Because one is raised a particular way to believe this, to believe that, or to do certain things, while another culture is raised completely different. And you have one saying, well, no, you need to do it this way, and the other one saying, no, you need to do it this way. And actually they're both right. They can, this person can choose to do it the way that they choose to do it, and this person can choose to do it the way that they choose to
Absolutely.
do it. You know, consequences are going to come from both of them.
Absolutely.
They
And they're
just-
free to do that.
Exactly. They just have been raised differently and had things instilled to them
Mm-hmm.
differently.
Absolutely. And that's where that understanding has to come
Excuse me.
in, because it's really about everyone. Remember when we talked about the tree, guys? Point one, remember the tree. In order to get a tree, because the word says this, there's a word, and the word is the guideline for living. For me, it's the guideline for living. You get to choose what you want to choose. But one of the things that it's not just the word, every book that has guided man in a positive manner has always warned man to make sure that their foundations are good.
Okay.
Because the foundations are always built on factual information.
Right.
What factual information? Of course, it's filled with the things that we believe are right and wrong. But in the end, the foundation of every positive teaching that encourages and empowers is love.
Okay.
If you love, it does something to you. It changes you. If every motive that you have is based out of love, then what it does is it puts you in a safe haven of decision making. And that decision making, it doesn't matter what culture you're in.
Right.
In the end, man is still trying to get to the same place. It's just it may be verbalized different. It may show different in behaviors. But any teaching that is a positive foundation for any type of life that has been beneficial, affected this world, changed the lives of people, was based off of one thing out of all the cultures, and it's love. It's truth and it's love.
Right.
And there's nothing else that is really needed for that except we choose. We're free to choose. But remember, you're planting seeds, and those seeds are going to come out up.
Okay.
Now, we talked about our tree. We want to make sure we plant good seeds so that we have sweet fruit,
Yes.
because our sweet fruit are the benefits of our life. But if you plant bad seed, you're going to have bad fruit. Choices, consequences. Choices, consequences. And what that really means is, the word, I'm going to go back to the word, it says, like a tree is known by its fruit, so a man is known by his actions.
His actions. Exactly.
And so a tree that comes up, but it bears sour fruit, people don't send people to that tree.
That's a bad
They don't
tree.
talk about that tree. It's a bad tree. As a matter of
They
fact,
talk about
they
it.
will cut it down.
They talk about it.
Right?
They talk about it. Oh, you got to stay away from that tree.
That's right. And so that's how people are in this world. But we forget that. It's like a little fat girl. And she's playing hide and go seek. And I heard this before because it's the perfect example. The little fat girl is playing hide and go seek. And so everybody runs and they hide. And she goes and hides behind a lamp pole. You know what I mean?
Little skinny lamp pole.
Yeah, the little skinny lamp pole. And that's how we are behaving, whether we want to believe it or not. When we are wishing for a result, but we are doing the opposite that will bring that result. And that's our choices. If you want a great life, I'm sorry, I have a throat, something itching my throat. If you want a great life, if you want the benefits of peace and happiness and joy, those things are here on earth. People would argue with you that they're not, but they are here on earth.
Okay.
But how do you get to them? Choices have consequences.
Correct.
If you want peace in your life, you don't need to go jacking people. You don't understand? Like, come on.
No, you
can't
don't.
go jacking people. You
No.
can't
There's
steal
consequences to
from
that.
people. You can't go out and take things that don't belong
No, you
to
can't do
you. You can't hit people in the head with bricks. You can't,
You can't do any of that.
can't do those type of things. Not because you're not free to do them, because choices bring consequences, and they equal. You will never make a good choice and get bad consequences.
Well, unless somebody wants to spend the rest of their life in jail or spend time in jail, then they can make those choices.
That's right,
okay
because then it would be okay because they wanted to do that. No matter what somebody would think, that makes it okay because they planted seeds for what they wanted to harvest.
And unfortunately, there are actually people who think about that.
Absolutely.
Well, I better not do this one because that'll get me 20, 30 years, but I'll do this one because I can do up to 5 years.
Absolutely. It's not a bad thing because and
wow.
This is the world's program, and the world's program would say something is wrong with him or something is wrong with her. There's nothing wrong with them. We were created to be free
and to make choices and decisions.
That's right. We do it every day. We wanted to really acknowledge Maya Angelou. We know that you guys are aware that she passed this week.
Yes.
And
gonna miss her.
Absolutely phenomenal woman. And I can say, there's a lot of people who've done a lot of major things in this world.
Mm-hmm.
But Maya Angelou to me is different because you can see certain people did this one monumental thing and they're known for that, or this over here, or this over there.
Okay.
But Maya Angelou was a woman who stayed free. She had a free spirit. A great example of overcoming adversity.
Right.
If you guys read her story, you would be amazed at this woman.
Yes.
The things that she did. But the beautiful thing and the thing I loved about her the most is Maya Angelou was raw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was raw. She would always...
Very genuine.
That's right.
Yeah,
she talked about her past, showing who she was in the present time to encourage us that no matter where you begin, you can go anywhere you choose to go if you just don't quit.
And she overcame some adversity
right?
too. I mean,
so
7
serious.
years old, and then she didn't speak for like 5 years. That's tough.
Yes.
For her to be able to go into writing, literature,
absolutely,
and poems and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
After not being able to talk for 5 years,
mm-hmm.
to eventually be able to do that.
Absolutely. She's
amazing.
A powerful woman. And the reason I brought up Maya is, she's a great woman and she deserves to be acknowledged. But to me, she exemplifies what it means to truly live out everything that you were created for.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. I mean, she did some amazing things, not all good, but she would talk about it. She used to run a brothel. She did a lot of different things, right?
Yep.
Was raped at 7. She suffered a lot of things. She had to overcome a lot of adversity.
Absolutely.
She had an amazing family. But at the same time, she had a lot of trials and she had a long journey. And this woman was absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. How she came into the afternoon of her life and had peace out of all those experiences. And when we're talking about the things that we talk about on the Heart of the Matter, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to, all of us, get to that place.
Trying to.
Right?
Yeah.
That place of peace where we understand that life happens, but we don't have to make it changes. What we do, we have to do it so the world will know that no matter what else goes on, it will not change who we are.
No.
That what we're here for, we will complete it.
We will.
And so, guys, we want you to call in. We want you to participate because really this thing about passion, that's what we're talking about. Maya Angelou was a woman of true passion. And she was just amazing to me because I love the way she could talk about her past. She was free to talk about her past. And yet she could turn in a second and inspire you and make you feel like that you could run to the stars, you know?
Yeah.
And it's because She wasn't just talking. People respected her because she lived it.
You can read various books that she wrote, and as well, poems. And she also did the inauguration of President Clinton.
She sure did.
And she read at I think it was President Bush, George W. Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Read at the White House one night.
Amazing woman. Amazing woman.
So
how do you go from running a brothel?
Right, exactly. So for the president to request that you do this,
yes,
that's monumental.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I heard somewhere this week, she did not support Obama.
She did,
right?
Well,
but what she did was that's right. But this is how phenomenal her character is. She did not support Obama, but when he won, she went and she celebrated because of the monumental impact of history that was made by a man of culture becoming the president of the United States.
Yes.
Amazing to me, because how many of we struggle just saying, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? We struggle just supporting somebody if we feel like they stole a position from work or if they snaked us. But see, she understood what it meant. It was more important to celebrate life than it was to be consumed by it.
Mm-hmm.
And how many of us have these situations going on right now? And I can say that because I know 100% there has been a shift in the atmosphere. And you guys know I've talked about this the last few shows.
Yeah, you sure have.
There's been a serious shift in the atmosphere. And what that says to me is that a lot of people are going through some things that they weren't going through before. And I know that it's true. I don't know how. I know in my spirit that it's true. I've run into so many people, and lately it's been the same thing. Trials. Yes, things happening. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there is a shift that has happened. But I want you guys to understand that shift is not a detrimental shift, even though you're seeing some detrimental things happening. Like I told you, my car died.
You did.
I told you my car died.
I was going to go to the funeral.
Yeah, there's no need for a funeral. But my car died. Love my car. You have no idea. Ever since that spiral started, it's been one thing after the other, after the other, after the other in my life for loss.
So you've experienced this before, though, correct? In your life? Where there's been like a shift or one thing after another.
I have, but it's this is different somehow. Okay. It's a different shift. The loss, the same, but it's consistent. It's been consistent. But guys, remember, we talked about this in one of the other shows. Mm-hmm. In order for new things to come into your life, you have a life space. And your life experiences are the times that you share with people, the events that go on in your life. Those are called life experiences. So right now you're sharing my life space.
Right.
Okay, so you guys share life space. When that life space is full, what can happen is you can become relied on that space and the entities that is keeping the activity alive in that space. But if it's so many entities that is what's stimulating and motivating you to do what you do, but you're asking to be taken to the next level, that which is in your space does not have the ability to take you there. It has the ability to sustain you in the life space that you're in at the moment and for the time that you want to stay there. Because remember, it's free will.
But you don't want to stay there.
But I don't want to stay there.
Right.
And so people who are seeing these changes, because it's not everyone,
Right.
it's the people who are seeing the changes, desiring new things, desiring more consciousness, desiring more understanding, more insight of life. What has to happen is those things have to be shifted out,
The old things.
the old things,
sustain
so that
you.
the new things
That's going to take you
can
higher.
take you higher. While the old things are being shifted out, you're going to be challenged because the things you were dependent on are no longer doing that. So again, you're in another training where your challenges are strengthening you in areas that you're going to need to be strong on the next level.
Okay.
You didn't need that kind of strength here. Now you're going to need it for
Okay.
the next level. Make sense?
It makes very sense. I like the way you use that. You put that analogy in there like that, because I think a lot of people who's listening can understand this more clearly. They have to get rid of.
They
we
have
have
to be willing to let it go.
to let it go.
If they want to go.
And then, we're being challenged in that process, and some of those things, we don't want to be challenged, we don't like it, but, we're being prepared for when the new things come in that's going to take us higher. And so when we go higher, we have to be ready. We have to be prepared.
Absolutely.
And the only way that we're going to be ready and be prepared is that we have to go through this process of being challenged. And, we just can't put you out on the track and say, hey, run a mile, and you ain't.
That's right. You will die. You
Exactly.
will pass out.
So when you're ready, so when we're ready, then that's when the new things will come in and take us higher.
Absolutely. And that's what's going on, guys. So when we're being challenged, I'm being challenged almost on every end.
Okay.
When we're being challenged, just know that it's part of the process.
Right.
You are absolutely not being broken. You are being made.
Prepared.
That's right. Because honestly, Ty, I don't know if you remember Ty, but I'll be talking about Ty.
I remember
Ty was an amazing woman in my life, and she was like, the higher the level, the bigger the devil.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just walk into things. Like you said, you can't just get on a track and say you're going to run a mile and you haven't trained. You are going to pass out over there. And it's your fault because choices have consequences.
You've been sitting around for weeks eating some oatmeal cookies and chocolate chip cookies.
Fried chicken. And then you're going to try to run on the
strawberry Kool-Aid, and now you're going to go out and run.
But don't we do that, guys? Don't we do that?
We want to be able to do it.
Absolutely.
And we don't want to go through the training. We don't want to go, be challenged.
And the training is our seeds
that
we plant for the tree.
For the tree.
Who's going to bear
the sweet fruit.
Absolutely. And so remember, there's no way around it. Now, this is the beautiful thing. If you don't want the pressure, if you like where you are, if you're satisfied where you are, there's no judgment whatsoever. You can stay there. It's not a big deal. This is for people who are wanting more, who are asking for more, who's not satisfied where they are because they know that they have something inside of them calling. They know they have so much more potential, and they desire to live out their full potential. It's not a good or bad, right or wrong, if you stay in this space. As a matter of fact, the people who want to stay in this space, I can veer to say they're not having the challenges that those who don't want to stay in this space are having, because everything is fair in love and war. And what that means is there's no reason for you to be attacked if you're not an enemy.
Right.
You understand? And so that's key number 2. There's no reason for you to be attacked if you're not an enemy. So if change is not your enemy, then it'll allow you to stay the same.
Okay.
Change, when you try to change, then remember there's a conspiracy to get you where you're going, and there's a conspiracy to make sure you never get where you're going. And so those two are at war all the time. You're deciding which side you want to fight on. I'm on the side of change, because I'm on the side of change, conformity is going to fight me. So what it's going to do is try to pull things away from me, take things away from me, so I'll give up hope. My faith will come down.
Right.
I'll lose my spirit of wanting to change because I'm losing so much. I'll get discouraged, and then I'll flatten back out and plateau and stay the same. How many of us do that?
Well, there's quite a few people that do that. A lot of us.
I've done it a million times.
But that's what we have to have, this true passion.
Absolutely.
To want more.
That's
to want
the
that
key.
insight, to want knowledge, to want to go to a higher level. It has to be that true passion, because if you have that true passion, you're not going to give up.
You won't ever quit.
Ever quit.
You can't.
You won't
It's
be
something
discouraged.
in you that won't let you quit.
No.
You know, and that's the difference. That's the passion that we're talking about. People can have a passion to serve, or a passion to give, or a passion to do a lot of things. But the passion that we're talking about is a passion to live out your destiny to the full. In that journey, it's not a plateau. There's hills, there's valleys, there's hills, there's valleys. You have to already know that, because you're making a choice to go to a place you've never been. So you have to make a choice to train for that place.
Right.
Your training for when you get to that place is going up the hill, down the valley, up the hill, down the valley. And so what's happening is you are being refined, and you are being processed, and you are being trained as a soldier. Remember, we're all soldiers.
Well, let me say this, because we're talking about true passion, and it's just I mean, I love it, because when I read my text again this afternoon, and I was thinking about true passion, and I was actually all alone, and I was thinking about it, and I just thought about the things that I've been thinking about for like the last 3 or 4 days. I've been thinking about this autobiography, doing an autobiography, and I said, well, I'm going to entitle it Diary of a Sports Junkie. This is what I've been saying for the last 3 or 4 days. And here I get this text from you talking about true passion. And the point I'm making is this here. True passion is what I have for sports. True passion is what I had when I was playing sports. And when I have injuries, when it was hot outside, 90 degrees or whatever, and it was raining in the morning and then the sun coming out, all these things, it didn't stop me from training. It didn't stop me from practicing. It didn't stop me, because I had this overbearing passion.
Absolutely.
To be the best at what I was doing in sports. Now, what happens is sometimes as people, we get into other areas of our life, and you say we're not doing sports anymore. We're not playing sports. And we don't have that same passion to be better, to be a better husband, or to be a better wife, or to be a better coworker, or be a better boss, or whatever it is. We lose that passion. But it's the same.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing where if you want to be a better person, then you have to train to be a better person.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you all.
And that's so beautiful, because you said, you made some very amazing points. And what's so amazing about this is how we get God. This is another key, guys. Out of all I've talked about, out of all Victor just said, the way to do all of that is the way that all of us would do it. It's the same. You have to choose to do it. You have to choose what you're passionate about. You know, and it's so amazing, because you can be passionate about art, but you're not passionate about making your marriage work. You can be passionate about whatever, but you don't have a passion. That's not because you can't do those same things. It's not because you can't. It's because you're choosing not to do them. And you guys know we're always going to get to the heart of the matter, because we have to talk about the real stuff so that we can go from where we are to where we're going. And the way to know where we are is to be real, is to talk about real things, is to be challenged, and is to admit that this is where I am, but I want to be over there. This is who I am, but I want to be this person. this is what I'm doing right now, but I know I can do so much more. So I'm going to keep striving to do it. This is where I am in my faith, but I want to be faithful. I want to do the things that I know that I'm destined to do.
Absolutely.
It's not about magic. There is no magic. It's simply about a persevering spirit that says, you know what? I'm going to see this before I leave this earth. I have that in me about the world. I have that in me about empowering the nations. That's in me. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing that makes me want to detour from that. Nothing. I can't imagine not doing that. In my heart and in my space, I will see the things that I'm destined to see. I intend to do everything that I was created to do at whatever cost.
I had a friend when we were younger. We were in our early 20s. He was very passionate and committed to traveling. And he had a job that didn't pay him a lot of money. But you know what he did? And his passion, we played sports when we were younger. Mm-hmm. So he had this discipline. He didn't have cable TV. He didn't have all these luxuries. He bought his clothes from like Walmart, or he buy them on sale and so forth. And he would every time he get paid, he would take a portion of his money and set it aside until he saved enough money to take a trip to where he wanted to go. And then once he did that trip, it was kind of like checking off his bucket list. Mm-hmm. He'll start saving again for another trip.
Love it.
And he just did this.
He made a decision. Yes, he made a choice.
He was so passionate about traveling. He just did what it took.
Love it.
Because that's what he was passionate about. And so the point that I'm making is this: whatever we're passionate about in life, whether you want, you're very passionate about being, a mother, being highly involved in your kids' school. If you're passionate about that, you're gonna do whatever you can to be involved in doing homework, checking with the teacher, how the kids are doing in school, and looking at the report card, all those things that it takes to be, whatever it is. And so when you were talking about how some people may think that they cannot do that, and we can all do it.
Absolutely, because it's simply choice.
We didn't even have to play sports. Whether or not you even played sports, if you're passionate about something that you've done from the time you were young, whether you're passionate about animals or whatever, you can take that same passion and transfer it into something else that you want to be go take to another level or be very good at.
Absolutely. And that's what we want you guys to know. We will always, always, always try to help you and try to lead you to the heart of the matter. The heart of the matter is truth. That's simply what it is. What is true about me as an individual? Yes. What is true about my thoughts? What is true about the boundaries I'm putting on me? What is true that I believe about me? Remember those affirmations I used to talk about? I don't care what you have to do. Practice affirmations. I am smart. I am beautiful. I will be an engineer if you want to be an engineer. I will be a doctor if you want to be a doctor. Put notes on your bathroom mirror. Do whatever you have to do. Your authority and your power comes by hearing yourself speak out loud life. You have the ability to speak life into yourself. I shared with you guys, I had no hope. I didn't think I would ever be anything. I went from being a person who felt 100% worthless to being this person that I am today. Yes. Not speaking Praise that I'm perfect. No, I went from there to there because I practiced the things I needed to do to speak life into myself. I believed the things that I knew would benefit me, and the things that I knew and heard, I heard from positive people. I heard from the Word of God, and I would repeat those things over and over and over again. And those things transformed me because the more I heard them, the more I believed them. You could have never told me, never told me that I would be sitting here today, able to speak, willing to speak, living to speak to people to empower them and take them to their destinies. You couldn't have told me that. And so that's how I know that there's power in words.
Mm-hmm.
There's power in seeds. There's power in choices. And honestly, guys, that's all we have is our choices. So make sure that you're ready to make good choices so that you will get the seeds that'll plant the fruit
Yes.
that is sweet in your life, so that you will enjoy happiness, peace, and joy, and be able to live with true passion in your life. We thank you guys so much for joining us for another life session.
Thank you.
Of The Heart of the Matter.
Good night,
everyone. Have a great night.
Good night. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I got
The Heart of the Matter is impacting lives globally. You're invited to tune in with Lorena Jefferson every Tuesday at 7 p.m. here at Talkwad Studios for more tools of empowerment and inspiration. For more information, contact Lorena at prestigewellnesscenter2@yahoo.com or by phone at area code 813-273-8700. Until next time, remember, mystics swim in the same water that psychotics drown in. It's simply a choice of how you see the water.